You are 1,000 feet underwater. It is pitch black.
The pressure outside will crush titanium. Radar doesn't work. GPS is dead. You are sitting on top of a live nuclear reactor, armed with 20 ballistic missiles, and you haven't seen the sun in 6 months.
This is the ultimate stealth weapon, a machine that weaponized the ocean's darkness. How do you engineer a city that breathes water and speaks in sound? Subscribe to Method and Myth as we deconstruct the apex predator of the sea.
To understand the nuclear submarine, you have to understand the fatal flaw of World War II. The German U-boats were terrifying, but they weren't true submarines. They were surface ships that could briefly hold their breath. They used diesel engines, which required atmospheric oxygen to burn fuel. To run the engines and charge their batteries, they had to surface or use a snorkel. And the moment they touched the air, Allied aircraft and radar could spot them and destroy them. A true submarine cannot be tethered to the sky. It must sever its relationship with oxygen. Enter Admiral Hyman Rickover, a notoriously abrasive and brilliant engineer in the US Navy. He realized that splitting the atom doesn't require air. In 1954, Rickover's vision launched, the USS Nautilus, the world's first nuclear-powered submarine. Instead of burning oil, a controlled nuclear reaction generated massive heat. This heat boiled water into steam, which spun the turbines, generating electricity and pushing the propeller. A chunk of uranium the size of a golf ball could power the submarine for millions of miles. The Nautilus didn't need to surface for fuel, and it didn't need air for its engines. But humans still do. You have 130 men sealed in a steel tube. In a few days, they will consume all the oxygen and choke on their own carbon dioxide. How do you breathe underwater for 6 months? You literally tear the ocean apart. Water is H2O, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. Engineers installed massive machines that use the submarine's infinite nuclear electricity to perform electrolysis. They pump seawater in, run a massive electrical current through it, and split the molecules. The hydrogen is pumped back out into the sea, and the pure, breathable oxygen is pumped into the ventilation system. At the same time, chemical scrubbers absorb the toxic carbon dioxide exhaled by the crew. The submarine is a closed-loop ecosystem. The only limitation on how long a nuclear sub can stay underwater is the amount of food in the pantry. But surviving underwater isn't just about breathing. It's about not being crushed. At 1,000 feet deep, the ocean exerts over 400 pounds of pressure on every single square inch of the hull. If the hull isn't perfectly cylindrical, the uneven pressure will find the weak point, buckle the steel, and instantly crumple the submarine like a soda can. Engineers use highly specialized HY80 high-yield steel, welding it with terrifying precision. So you have a machine that can stay deep forever, but down there you are blind. Light cannot penetrate the deep ocean. Electromagnetic waves, like radar and radio, are absorbed by saltwater almost immediately. To see, you must listen. This is SONAR, sound navigation and ranging. Sound travels almost 5 times faster in water than it does in the air. The ocean is a massive acoustic highway. There are 2 types of sonar. Active sonar is the famous ping. You send out a sound wave and listen for the echo. It's incredibly precise, but it's a death sentence. Using active sonar in a submarine is like turning on a flashlight in a dark room where assassins are hiding. You see them, but everyone instantly knows exactly where you are. So modern submarines fight using passive sonar. They don't make a sound, they just listen. Using highly sensitive hydrophones arrayed along the hull, a submarine can hear a surface ship's propeller from hundreds of miles away. In this world of pure acoustic warfare, noise is death. And the greatest enemy of a submarine isn't the engine. It's a physics phenomenon called cavitation. When a propeller spins too fast, the pressure on the back of the blade drops so low that the cold seawater literally boils. It creates tiny vacuum bubbles. When these bubbles collapse, they create a sharp, loud shockwave. To a sonar operator, cavitation sounds like a screaming chainsaw in a quiet library.
Engineers spend billions designing highly classified, scythe-shaped propeller blades to prevent cavitation at high speeds. The exact shape of an American submarine's propeller is one of the most closely guarded secrets in the military.
But even if you are silent, you still need to hide. Submarines use the ocean's own physics as a cloak. Water temperature is not uniform. It forms distinct layers. The boundary between warm surface water and freezing deep water is called the thermocline. Because sound changes speed depending on temperature, when a sonar wave hits the thermocline, it doesn't go straight through. It bends, bounces, and refracts. A submarine hiding just below this thermal layer becomes completely invisible to surface ships. The sound literally skips off the water above them. The nuclear submarine completed the triad of mutually assured destruction. Because they are impossible to find, even if an enemy destroyed every missile silo on land, the submarines would survive in the deep, ready to surface and end the world in retaliation.
They engineered perfect invisibility underwater, but the sky was still a radar trap. Next time on Method and Myth, we look up. We deconstruct the geometry of ghosts and the aircraft designed to reflect the invisible web, stealth technology.